fired up. Big board ready, phones all lit. Miami mine on that perfect fit. Pick by pick, we're cutting through the smoke. We're talking future with every quote. Bobby bringing that bold hot take. Josh with the stats to keep it straight. Coach breaking down every twist and turn. Chalk on the board while the cameras burn. On the clock, let the war room rock. Hey, Bobby, Josh, and Coach where the fans flock. From the first big call to the final spot. On the clock, fans talk, Dolphins draft. Fans talk, Dolphins draft. Can't stop, oh, can't stop. Trade up, trade back, what's the move? Who's that dog that's got something to prove? Sleeper in the third, steal in the late. Every single name could change our fate. From the podium buzz to the fan base roar. We're riding every pick like it's
with the 11th pick, the Miami Dolphins select.
All right, good evening. Happy Sunday, Dolphin fans. Welcome to the Fins Talk Draft Show on the clock here on FTSN, sponsored by Canes Wear. Got Rob, Dolphins Thirsty in the house. Got Adrian of the Rainy Day Podcast. Robert Thomason in there as well. Mock drafting this year is so much fun since we have so much capital and so many holes. Abso-freaking-lutely. Joined always, I'm Bobby Finstock, joined always by Josh Wingate and Coach Vogel. Coach, I know you've been bouncing around there, sir.
What up?
Good.
trying to get it figured out. We're good for this room for the current time being. We're good.
All right.
Spring
Josh,
break 26. Spring break 26. Let's go.
Is that happening for you right now? Are you on spring break?
About 4 weeks too late. But we're here, boys. We're here.
Nice. I'm doing well. Just got chickens today, like little chicks. So we have a coop out back. We have chickens in the house.
Yes.
And we're going full on, I guess, farm life here.
There you go, man. You got the look.
That's popular down here in these parts.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we got four.
It's popular down here in these
chicks.
parts.
Yeah. So my brother-in-law was staying with us for a while, and he's like, "You guys really need chickens." So we had a bunch of ticks in our backyard. He's like, "They'll eat all the ticks. They'll eat all the bugs. They'll take care of everything." So my daughter saw the little chicks at Tractor Supply.
There you go.
So we had to get them.
There you go. Well, tell you what, I've seen those before. They look cute, but I don't know if we're ready to there yet, even though we're here in the heart of Tennessee. But hey, look, a lot to talk about this episode here. Yeah, real life Easter peeps. There you go, Robert. Hog Dog in the house. What is up, my man? Great to see everybody dropping in here to the FTSN Fins Talk Draft Show. What are we going to talk about today? Well, we've been spotlighting players and all that whatnot, and we're going to continue to do so. But tonight, what I wanted to do was spotlight kind of prospects that are kind of can't miss prospects. Players that, every mock draft and that every draft people have been talking about, it's, what trade offer should we take? It doesn't matter who's on the board. Let's entertain a trade offer and let's do it. But Coach brought up a great point last show, and I thought this would be a great topic for this show is who are those can't miss prospects? Who are those players that are like those stick to the pick players? Like if they're there, Coach, you can't skip on that guy. You just got to go to the board and go get him. Is that Arvell Reese, right? If Arvell Reese is at 11, is he that guy that you're like, no, there's no way he should be there. We're going to go and get him. Or is it Ruben Bain? Or, Coach, your guy, Jeremiah Love. Is that a stick to the pick player that if he's there at 11, you don't care what you don't care what trade offer is available, you're going to go ahead and make that pick. So that is something that we want to talk about. Who are those prospects? And then we'll go ahead, of course, and run the mock draft simulator. And maybe if that is a player who's on the board, we're not passing up. That's 11. But what about at 30? Is there a player that if he's there at 30, we want to entertain a trade offer? Is there a player, like, can we think of like, hey, man, yeah, if this one guy is there, maybe Caleb Lemieux out of Utah, if he's sitting there at 30, do we pass him up? Or do we stick to the pick? Or maybe Zion Young, right? He's flying up boards. We need a pass rusher. is he a guy that if he's there at 30, you cannot pass him up? That's something we want to talk about. So, first off, Craig in the house, great to see you. Yes, no Greer this year. Ain't that nice? Robert says most likely have to draft guys would be Francis, Bean, Reuben Bain, and Caleb Downs. Those would probably be his stick to the pick players if they're available. So let's go ahead and get that started. Coach, this is something that you brought up on last show. I think it was after the show. But are there players, especially at 11, we'll worry about 30 in a minute, but is there any players at 11 when you're like doing this and you're researching the draft and scouting, but also doing mock drafts on your own, and you're like, man, if he's there, it's hard for me to take a trade on this. I got to go with this guy.
I think a couple of weeks ago when we started this, I would have said yes. But the more, things come in, if we're going the Green Bay Packer way, and it feels like we are, I look at this and kind of one of the things that Josh has been saying is a 2-year draft this year and next year. We're not right. We're not expecting to go to the Super Bowl this year. We're just trying to build through the draft this year and then also next year, right? So everybody's like, oh, well, what if Tyson's there at 11? I don't want him, first of all, because there's injury concerns, but second of all, there's also a good crop of receivers coming out next year as well. So there's a ton of tackles that are there. And if we can – I think 11 is one of those spots that if we can move back a couple spots, I think it's going to be hard to press. But if there's no trade offers, then, for me, it's best player available in the trenches at 11. And then kind of going from there once you get more picks from there.
Josh, you've been, I want to say up and down, but mostly down on this class a little bit in regards of that can't miss talent, elite talent in this draft. I know how we feel about Mendoza, Jeremiah Love, but, a lot of times you feel like, man, this is not that type of class. But is there any guy that, let's say if we got to 11 on draft night, we're at 11, and there's this one guy, he's falling. We notice he's falling. He's at 11. You're like, no, there is no way Miami to take. They need to run it aboard and go get that guy. Is there any guy at the top of the draft that you see that you would not trade down for at 11?
So I feel like there are some people. Ultimately, I think a trade down is the best option for Miami. I think trying to get as many picks as possible for them. And it's not necessarily trade down to get more value or more picks this year. I'm trying to trade down to get picks for next year because what Coach was saying, next year's draft is supposed to have those top tier guys that this one doesn't. So I'm trying to get as many options and as many possibilities in this draft or next draft than this draft. And honestly, I'm trying to move back to the sweet spot of this draft, which is in that 25 to end of the third round. That's the sweet spot. That's where you're getting the most value, things of that nature. But to the question, now, if I'm Miami, this is how I'm going to approach it because and I see Craig said Love in there, I would absolutely take Love as myself. Any other team, I don't think Miami's in the position to actually take Love right now. They need more on this roster than just a running back, which is probably their best position on the entire roster.
That's hard for me to pass on would be Love, but the bigger is you have a running back and there's just so much more that we need that I'm now if Dolphins select Love, I'm gonna be one happy camper. But
for sure,
when you're the GM of it, and you're trying to think through some of those things,
But where does Love put you in
more than likely
3? Where does Love put you in 3 years? To where another player that can contribute somewhere else on the roster when you already have a top tier running back on your roster, things of that nature. It's about building the roster, building the room. And to the question, Caleb Downs would be one player that would be very, very hard for me to trade away from for Miami. He's just one of the top, maybe the top player in this entire draft. So it's hard for me to trade away from someone like that. The other one, I believe, would be David Bailey. David Bailey, a top-tier edge rusher, maybe the best edge rusher in this draft. Hard for me to move away from that guy. The other one might be a little surprising. Mansour Delane. I've been getting higher and higher on that guy, and I think he could be a cornerback that could be one of the top corners on your roster, but be someone that can stabilize the position group a little bit so that you can build elsewhere and things of that nature. So those would be the three that would be hard for me to trade away from if they were available at my pick.
So just highlight some of the comments here. Hog Dog says no wide receiver at 11, trenches first, quarterback, corner, or edge, or BPA. Rob, Dolphins thirsty. Delane is awesome. Robert says if Miami were to draft Jeremiah Love, could they move H into wide receiver? Coach, I'll let you respond to that. Did you hear that question?
Say it one more time. I didn't hear. What
Yeah, no. Robert's asking if Miami were to draft Jeremiah Love, would they move H in the wide receiver?
That's a good question. I don't know, because they both, like, you can use, they're kind of interchangeable. You can put H-An out wide, or you can put Love out wide. Love caught many balls that in the wide receiver slot position at Notre Dame. So either one of those guys could be they could be interchangeable. You know, do you want somebody maybe in the, third and short, you put Love back there and H-An wide, and then, in the first and second down, maybe they switch positions. I think they could be interchangeable, but you don't want to take away what they do best, which is run downhill.
And I will say, in regards of what you guys were talking about, Jeremiah Love as a possibility, right? If somehow, some way he was there at 11, there's a lot of guys on their draft board that have Love as the number one guy on their board. Yeah. Like, they're like, this guy is a real deal type back. This is not a can't miss prospect, a stick to the pick prospect. Does having Devon Achen eliminate the idea of getting Jeremiah Love at 11? If Love is as talented as others are saying, or as like Coach Vogel, Wingate, myself, we watch it, we see it, then that's a player that doesn't matter who you have on the roster, you make room for, right? And this is the thing with Devon Achen right now. Until he agrees to an extension, Love is a possibility.
But here's going to be my thing.
Absolutely.
This current status of the roster, the position that he plays, and the current value that you have on your
100%
makes it harder for you to take Love, because, one, the value that he's going to return on someone later in the draft that wants Love because he slipped that far is going to be greater. Trading up for a piece like that, I can't see where Love can be the pick for Miami.
And I'll say this too.
Love is my favorite, one of my favorite prospects.
I know, and I get it, and I understand the pushback or the argument against. I get it, right? But and I'm fine with it, because I think, even though the running back class is not as talented as we would like later on, I still think that, if you really wanted to get one, you could get one later. Right. Love, though, like if Love was there, I can understand the idea of saying, okay, you know what, let's not pass that up, because then you're like, even the idea of like moving H in the wide receiver. Yeah. No, I would not move H in the wide receiver, but now you could run him, you could line him up at receiver, but now you got two very good running backs, and especially one for at least this year, and you got Love on a rookie deal. There's an argument there. But go ahead, Coach, your point.
I was just going to say, especially if he's, if your philosophy is best player available and he drops to you at 11, he'd be hard to pass up on, because he is such a dynamic playmaker, right? And his focus is football. When when he talked in those interviews in GMs, he's like, after that game's over, I'm going home. I'm going to soak in the hot tub, and then I'm going to be playing video games and studying film. Like, that's it. Like, he doesn't want to go out and party, which, a lot of those guys get to South Beach and they're like, hey, let's go out and, get in trouble.
Yeah, we don't want to talk about what they do at South Beach.
So, Dolphins Thirsty says Love is not in the South Florida air. So he ain't feeling it. But Hog Dog is right. People will drop to us. So again, and we talked about it. What happens with Ty Simpson? What happens with the top 3 wide receivers? If there's a run on wide receiver in the top 10, who's going to get pushed down to Miami? And if Love is at Miami's pick, then it's going to be hard to ignore trade offers because you might get some good ones, especially for a player like Love. And that's Robert's point there as well. Robert throwing that in there. But I love this, right? Ricky and Ronnie worked. Why not Agent and Love? 100%.
Yes.
If that's the
run some Wildcat.
But here's Scotty, man. We love Scotty. Scotty's been with us for a few years, for a couple years now. So, but he says, depend on who else is on the board. What if Love and say Downs are there? Who do you take? I go Downs. Ooh, that's a great question. Josh, you'd probably go Downs. Am I right?
So who we're saying if Love and 1,000% Downs.
Yeah.
But go ahead, Coach.
I was just going to say, or like my son says, 100%. 100%. I was like, is it ever like 42% or is it always 100%?
Sometimes.
Yeah, Robert says historically poor drafting teams are drafting in the top 10. Someone great will drop to 11. But if you're picking between Caleb Downs and Jalen Love, because we have Devon Achane, I would go Caleb Downs. Mm-hmm. That's why. We don't have anybody. I don't feel comfortable with anybody at the safety room. I feel great with Devon Achane. But again, if we could get that safety in the draft or whatever, if Love is there, if Love was the pick at 11, I'm not hating on Love at 11. But I don't think that is.
I think that if Love falls to 11, that there's going to be some of those.
Someone's going to ask for. Someone's demanding a trade up.
Like, say for instance, the Seahawks, right? The Seahawks don't have a running back. Would they be interested in trading up to get Love, or are they content in Jadarian Price on the back end of the first round?
That's great. Great point.
You'd be crazy not to. If he's at 11 and you can get him for,
So we have now, I think, answered that question. I think for everybody, well, there's a few. I mean, in this context, Jeremiah Love is not a stick to the pick player. He's not a guy that you're going, we're staying right here, we're taking him. We're not hating on him. We love him. If he was the pick, great. We love him as a prospect, but he's not that. He's the guy we're like, pick up the phone. Let's see what the deals are. Okay. So I want to stick with one guy. We're going to go to Caleb Downs because I think that's one that's going to be a great conversation. But I think Robert asked earlier, forgive me if it wasn't Robert, but Carnell Tate. He said if it's Carnell Tate or Jeremiah Love, run to the board. So Carnell Tate, 6'2", 192. He's in that top 3 wide receiver discussion, right? Josh has brought up, I think last episode, where Carnell Tate, even though Ohio State produces great wide receivers, the correct argument, or the argument that Josh had brought out, which is fair, is Carnell Tate was never the number one guy in the Ohio State offense. It was always Marvin Harrison, Jeremiah Smith, whoever it was. It was never Carnell Tate. However, there's a reason why he's in this discussion on the other side of it. I mean, when you watch him, you see a lot to love about Carnell Tate, and you understand why he's in this conversation. But Josh brings up great points as to why he's not, or why you should be concerned. I'd prefer him over Jordan Tyson, just being honest. There's a lot, injury history, a lot of concentration drops for me. But I don't know if he's a stick to the pick player. Josh, I think I already know your answer, but give the reason why he wouldn't be a stick to the pick.
Yeah, I don't think there's a number one receiver in this year's draft. I think we have a bunch of twos that are being elevated because they're I think Tate has everything that you want in a receiver. He's very technical. When he's running routes, he's got strong hands. He attacks the ball at the high point. He does everything you want, but then the production never shows up behind that. He's always the guy not getting the ball. He's not the go-to receiver. Just a bunch of these things start piling up for him. And it's why is that he look like this? And then the ball's not going his way. So there has to be something to that. And from top to bottom, I just feel like there isn't a number one receiver in this draft. So I feel like if I can trade back, get value, and potentially value for next year's draft, where you have a Jeremiah Smith who takes the ball away from Carnell Tate, who as a true freshman had 1,300 yards. I believe it was 1,300 yards. that's the kind of player that I want, and it's going to be a historic, from what I'm hearing, a historic wide receiver class next year.
Williams from Alabama would also be in the discussion, right?
Ryan
Isn't
Williams,
he's another
man. I'm already obviously I'm already ahead in the 27 draft. Like I'm working on that stuff in the back end, and I'm like, damn, I can't wait. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's salivating. But no, but Scotty brings up a great point in regards of the receiver room. Like, it's the deepest position in this draft. I'm waiting later in the draft, 100%, right? Like, that's my thing. I don't know if there's any guy in the wide receiver who's there at 11. I'm going to go, oh, got to go get him. Like, if this was Jeremiah Smith, there's no discussion, right? This is
right,
no one's
that's who I'm running to the board for.
Yeah, but in this draft, there's no wide receiver at 11, and I'm going, we got to stay here. Because I'm thinking about Bryce Lance later on in this draft. I'm thinking about Ted Hurst. I'm thinking about Chris Bell. I'm thinking about Chris Brazel. There's other guys there that we could get. Ted Hurst from Georgia State. Now, I'm not doing next year's mocks. I'm doing next year's board. I'm doing next year's
projection,
grades. I'm working on that. No, not next year's mock. But now, Caleb Downs. There's been so much to talk about with Caleb Downs, right? I mean, again, when you watch the film, you see a guy in control of the defense who was like a captain on the quarterback of the defense, calling plays, getting everybody in position, getting the move. We've heard from Manzano in the comments about, injury concerns. We see that some teams have said that they don't have no concern with him. Coach, Caleb Downs, total package type of player. He's we've seen him. He goes at the top 5. He's at 11. We've seen him go to 15. More than likely, this guy's a top 10 pick, top 5 possibly. But if he's a top 10, let's say he's at 11, is he a stick to the pick player to you?
Well, as much as the GMs have said we're going to build inside out, I do think because if Hafley's a defensive head coach, that if he's in love with them, then you jump on it in a heartbeat, especially if you think he's, if he's going to be able to control your back end, then it's somebody that you absolutely run to the board for. As much as I'm me, trench guy, but if he happens to fall to 11 and Hafley's into it, then you definitely want to keep that pick then.
And let me ask you this, Coach. I'm going to follow up with you. Is there anyone in this offensive line class, especially these guys that we've discussed, Spencer Fanu, Francis Malinoa, is there any one of these guys that for you is a stick to the pick player at 11? Like if Francis Malinoa is sitting there at 11, do you just run to the board?
I don't know. Because as much as I want to say yes, like there's – you have those two, and then I was watching Freeling today and fell in love with him, like big time fell in love with him. So if you can trade back, right, and get more picks, I think there's multiple offensive tackles this year that would be great and great fits on that line, and even more so, like I think I like him more than the guard from Penn State, Ione, right, like. I know they're two different positions, but I'm just saying, like, I just think there's numerous offensive linemen this year that you would be interested in, and I just think that there's going to be somebody wanting to move up to 11 that it's going to be too good to pass up.
There you go, Josh. Scotty's asking. I'll let you go first on this one. Do you think Fanu plays offensive tackle? Or do you think he gets kicked inside?
I would give Fano an opportunity to play offensive tackle. I don't see any issues to where he can't. But as always, like if he's got the height, he's got the size, he has everything that you want in a tackle. But if you do see like he's getting beat around the edge or beat inside, you move him inside. And I think he'd be a great guard too. I think he's one of the prospects that could do that. He could play tackle or guard. It's really where you need him, where he's going to do it. But I think your best value is going to be putting him at tackle and then see what happens from there.
Coach, your thoughts on Fanu? Do you think he'd be kicked out inside at guard, or you think he should play tackle?
He's a tackle. I don't think that we need. I don't think you need to kick him inside. right away. Give him an opportunity to play. I mean, it's just like Bane. They say Bane, his arms are too short. What does the tape tell you? The tape tells you that if you're going to select Bane, he's going to be a dog on your defense. Like it doesn't concern me. And if he's been successful at left tackle, you keep him at left tackle or right tackle, whichever tackle spot you bring him on to play until he's not doing it, and then you kick him inside, and then you've got a stud guard.
I'm going to say this too. In regards to, first off, Jermaine, I see you in there, man. Thank you for tuning in and throwing your comments in there. Wetfire, just see you popped up there. My gut tells me that Bane will be there at 11. That would be really cool. I've seen a few things now with that possibility, and that would be strongly, considered, I think, for Miami. In regard to Fanu,
considered, yeah.
Let me see. I've seen something there. So Fanu, I've seen a lot of things about him moving around the offensive line. I get that. I think that has a lot to do with his versatility and his IQ too. I do want to say though, from what I've seen, because it's so true what these guys have said. What does the film tell you? What does it show you? And I see a guy who could play great at tackle. And I think he does give you the flexibility to play at guard. And that's great for a rookie too. Like you have Austin Jackson. You have that flexibility where you got your now again, does he last? Can you trust him? No, because he can't stay healthy. But that's when you go, okay, hey, if he at the beginning of the year, Fanu, you move him to guard, let him get some reps in at guard next to Patrick Paul or even Austin Jackson, and then you move him to right tackle when and if Austin Jackson moves. But I want to say, in regards of stick to the pick type players, Caleb Downs is probably one of those guys. Jeremiah Love is one of those guys for any team, really, I think. Arvell Reese, maybe. Mendoza, even though we know he's going one. But there's not a lot, really, because if you miss on Francis Malinoa, you might be able to get Max Allanker at 30, right? Max Allanker. If you or Francis Malinoa, you may be able to get holy crap, I'm losing my who is it? The other tackle in Miami. Oh my crap. What's that guy? I hate when I go for blanks here. Markel Bell later on. There are guys that Caleb Terran from Northwestern. There are guys that if you pass up on a guy, I could make a good argument as to why you're like, hey, there's a guy later on you could grab to kind of get depth to your offensive line or to put a quality guy. Caleb Downs. You pass up on Caleb Downs, Dylan Thieneman later, maybe, unless he gets picked up in the top 15. Or Emmanuel McNeil Warren or Al-J. Halsey from LSU. Wide receiver, right? I saw Jermaine about Bryce Lance, and I respect that, right? Everyone has their thoughts and opinions. But, like, you pass up on Tate Tyson or Mekhi Lemon. You got Denzel Boston from Washington, maybe, at 30, maybe. You got Concepcion out of Texas A&M. Chris Brazil, Zachariah Branch, Chris Bell. There are other options. Tight end, right? We've heard so much about Kenyon Sadiq, right? Absolutely so. Right. The guy's a genetic freak, right? 6'3", 241, 4.39 speed. I mean, there's a lot to like for him. But, hey, if you don't go get Sadiq, you got Stowers. You got Sam Roosh later on. You got Eli Raridan, who's kind of like, that dude's massive, 6'7", 245 from Notre Dame. I mean, there are guys, like, if you miss on a guy, get a guy later. Ted Hurst from Georgia State, wide receiver. You know what I mean? Like edge rusher. Like that might be one of the things where I'm kind of like, but you pass on David Bailey or Ruben Bain, you could get Akeem Massador, right? Later, or Zion Young or Jacques or Malachi Lawrence or Derek Moore. There are guys that's how I feel about this draft. This is not a draft where it's like, it's hard to say this is a can't miss deal. I don't know if there's a guy that really jumps out that's like, you cannot pass this up because there's guys you could get later that could kind of match that up. Am I wrong, Josh?
No, and I think this comment kind of plays into what we were saying and what you were just saying like we have to get premium talent at number 11. I don't think there's premium talent in this draft, really. I think there's a lot of guys that would be later in the draft, in traditional drafts. I've said this before. Jared Verse would be the top pass rusher in this year's draft, and he went 19 2 years ago. Chop Robinson would be one of the top pass rushers in this draft easily. People would be looking at him foaming at the mouth of his ability to rush the passer compared to people in this year's draft. So I think we're looking at like, hey, this is what the draft puts out. But what we're really looking at is we've had a bunch of people during COVID years that are coming out early, coming out late, and it's been pushing up these drafts. And now we're at the point of, well, all those players either came out early or gone, and now we have this watered down draft that we're getting into with all this talent that either is not ready or everyone went the year before, and now we're like at that watered down stage right now. And then next year we're looking at, okay, now this is a reset with talent going into the draft.
And again, first off, shout out to Daniel in the comments. Just saw him pop up there. He says, forget Spencer Fanu, Bobby. For once, can we draft the best offensive guard in, Vega Ione? I'm from Pennsylvania. Watch him the last 2 years. We'll regret the next 10 years. He's the best offensive lineman in this draft. To me, that sounds like a stick to the pick player for him. And I remember a few episodes back, he said, guys, aren't you guys being maybe you're being biased because he's local, Francis Mauanoa. Are you being biased because she's from Pennsylvania and you're Penn State? I don't know. I don't know if he's a stick to the pick. I think I like him. I don't think he's 11. I don't know about 11. Is he Quentin Nelson? I've seen that thrown around. Josh, is Ione Quentin Nelson, who was drafted by the?
That's a hard. I don't think there's ever been other than Quentin Nelson out there. Quentin Nelson's just a different dude.
He's a bully. He's a bully.
But you have the two different and Notre Dame guys. You have a Quentin Nelson who's the bully, really good, strong, physical, fast, and then you have the Zach Martins out there that are just technicians and does everything right.
Love both those guys, man.
Ione, I think he's a good player. I think he could be he could be one of the best players in this draft. But I
love him. In every mock draft we have, I push hard. I've pushed hard for him, but at 11, right? And that's what
I can't.
Dolphins Thirsty was right. Are you going to pick him at 11? That's just with the whole, the draft numbers and all that stuff. I don't pay attention to that stuff as much as maybe other people do. And I love him, and if the Dolphins pick him at 11, I will be ecstatic. But I just think he's somebody that you can trade back for.
That's a trade back, yeah,
later
for me
in the
too.
First.
I would take Noah over him. That's just for me.
I just think the value of trading back in this year's draft is just so especially if you're getting next year's pick, is just so much better than any other draft possible. You can trade back, get value for that pick, and then possibly also get into a draft next year that has even more value, players that can be over the top and put your roster in a good foundational point. I don't know. I think that would be amazing. And I've talked about this in the chats and all of that. I would take an opportunity to trade back into 25 if I can pick up a 2027 first round pick. And I would do that in a heartbeat if I'm Miami.
I think it'd be completely different if Miami was a player or two away, right? If Miami didn't have a running back and Love falls to you, you absolutely stick to the pick and you take him, right? But because we have a need everywhere across the board, I just don't – for me to say this guy is a definitely stick and pick guy, I think we have too many needs to be able to do that. And if you have teams that are willing to call you up, except for the Jets and the Patriots and the Bills, I'm going to trade back.
And I'm going to say, too, again, first off, shout out to everybody who's watching. And I appreciate Adrian and Hog Dog right now, too. We got in YouTube, at least, we have 56 people watching live, over 100 and someone watching all through channels. But for those who are watching live, we appreciate you guys. And everyone, if you're watching live and you're not in the comments, do so. Give us your thoughts, whether you agree or disagree. Yeah. I said this respectfully. We don't care. We want to hear from you. We do care in regards to your comments. Yeah. It's not going to offend us either way. That's what I mean by that. I Daniel is disagreeing, right? He's Ione, which is fair. We love Ione, right? But if you're gonna say, between one, is he a stick to the pick player? I would do a trade down, but I get it. I've heard the Quentin Nelson thing. I don't see Quentin Nelson. I see a very good guard, but I'm not in favor of going guard at 11, right? I'll go tackle. If a tackle could play guard, great.
Right.
But if I could trade down a few spots, then we're in discussion about it. But no, I just want to say, if you're in the comments, we appreciate you. All those who are tuning in, do me a favor, hit that like button, hit that subscription button. Even if you don't like what we're talking about, we'd love to hear from you. Adrian offends all day. He don't give a damn. He'll offend the hell out of you, but still subscribe to his channel, Rainy Day Pod. Let's see, Sebastian, Bobby. They won't trade down 11, but they will trade down from the next pick. Interesting. We're going to talk about that. Is there a player at 30?
Why won't they?
You would not trade down. You wouldn't trade down. Go ahead, Coach.
He said we won't trade out of 11. Why does he think that we won't trade out of 11? I think that's the perfect spot to trade out of.
Maybe because there's going to be one of these top players are going to be available. You stick at that pick and then you trade down from 30 and get an extra pick in the mid round. Maybe that might be the case. That may be where he's going, which I understand. I get that. I think that is a possibility that could happen. Finn's fan says, if Love is there, would you drum up a trade for Achin and a 27 first looking at the Seahawks? I don't know, man. Obviously, it really opens the door, right? Now it becomes a lot more obvious that you're really open to trading.
If they offer you, I was gonna say if they offer you a 2027 pick, it'd be hard to kind of pass on that.
Yeah.
Let's say Love is on the board, and I don't know. Houston needs a running back, right? I don't think Houston currently has one. Let's say Love is on the board. Houston calls and says, we'll give you 2027 first round pick and a fourth rounder this year. Are you taking that? So you're getting a second, a fourth round, and a 2027 first round pick from Houston.
I don't know if Houston would do that. Did they just get Montgomery?
Did they just get Montgomery?
Yeah, they get Montgomery from the Lions, if I'm correct. I think so. I thought it was Houston. In regards of Markel Bell, Scotty says thoughts on Markel Bell, the tackle out of Miami. That's the reason why, if you were to go get Ione at 11 or 13 or whatever, if you were to move down, then I would be down with that because Markel Bell available later. I think that's one thing we had Will Patron of 305 Sports Now, who was talking about the different offensive line prospects. Inez Cooper, an offensive guard, probably getting the 7th round, 6th round. Markel Bell, 6'9", 346. I love the idea of going and get Markel Bell later in the draft, and maybe in a 4th round, 5th round, maybe like you said, 6 or 7 if he's there. But I love the idea. And one thing that Scotty that Real brought up was with Coach Cristobal is that he trains these guys at every position. They all have experience at every position. So even though he's too big to play inside, you can move him to the left, you can move him to the right. He's a good versatility piece. So I love the idea of drafting Markel Bell, especially if you don't get a tackle early on. Josh, you finish your point. I'm sorry.
No, so let's just move it to Arizona. Arizona has the 34th overall pick. So let's say they give up the 34th overall, a first round next year, and the 104. Are you taking that pick or taking that trade for the 11th overall pick?
For the 11th overall pick?
Yep. Love is there. Would you accept 34, 104 in a 2027 first round pick?
Ooh, 34, 104, and a first round pick next year. 34. For Houston?
No, I'm saying Arizona now because
Arizona.
Yeah.
Arizona is it probably going to be a bad team? That would be a terrible team.
You never know. Love could change them around.
I doubt it. Yeah, I think I would consider that. I think I would strongly consider that because Houston, I think, is not going to be an early pick. I think Arizona would be. So that could be, you want to maybe, if you're thinking about a quarterback next year, and there's a buttload of them possibility, that might be something you consider. I know people go, oh, don't trade out of the first round, but you still got 30, and it's trading down to 34. So I don't know. I'd consider that.
I think Arizona's a possibility for Ty Simpson at 3. So that's the first spot I'm watching for Ty Simpson. But the possibility of them coming up and getting a running back.
You don't.
Travis Burke. You're right. Memphis, man.
Do you think the Jets consider him with their second pick in the first round? Ty Simpson?
I don't think so. I don't think play style Ty Simpson fits the Jets. I think being in Arizona, the offense that they run, I think he's going to be better in Arizona than he would the Jets, but you never know. I just think that's like the perfect landing spot for him is Arizona. And no one's talking about Arizona taking a quarterback, which is so weird to me.
Mm-hmm.
Who's their current
They're
quarterback?
going with Jacoby, aren't they?
Yeah.
I think it's Jacoby Brissett.
I would not be comfortable with Jacoby Brissett going into he played well last year, don't get me wrong. But
yeah.
I would not be comfortable with Jacoby Brissett being my quarterback next year, unless you're trying to get one of the quarterbacks the following year.
Reading the comments here, Travis Burke is an unrestricted free agent, undrafted free agent. Not yet until after the draft, Whitewall, but I get your point. He could be, he more than likely will be there. But Travis Burke, again, fits the same kind of profile in regards of size as Markel Bell. I think he's like 6'8", 6'9", massive, girthy dude. You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, I love the big girth, the size. Yeah. Hook me up on that big offensive line. But again, this might be the year too.
Girth.
Give me that girth. Yeah, man. I mean, think about that. Think about 6'7" of Patrick Paul on the left, and then Markel Bell 6'9", or even Travis Burke, but 6'9" on the right. Those two behemoths. Yeah. I'm down with that, bro. I'm down with it.
Yeah.
Jeez. Bobby's salivating over here.
Oh, I was like,
he's like,
anyway. Okay, so for 30, let's get to 30 for a second. Please don't tell me if we don't draft Ione at guard, are you? If we don't draft Ione, at what guard are you drafting? Please don't tell me a right tackle. Please don't tell me a right tackle. If you don't take a guard,
okay,
Ione, what guard are you taking, Coach? That's Daniel asking.
There's
we didn't take Ione. Who's
the kid from Oregon, right?
Pregnon?
There's a kid from Oregon.
Yeah,
Pregnon's decent.
He's
guard.
been moving up though. He's there's talk of him going into the first round.
Yeah.
But again, I mean,
and if he's there at 30, that would
I just feel like there's a couple guys that no one's really talking about that are like still really good players, like Blake Miller. I think Blake Miller could be a really good right tackle, left but also I think he could be a really good guard.
Yes.
Like I think he could be an elite.
But he
guard.
said don't talk about tackles though.
Yeah.
He said don't. That's why we didn't say tackle though. We're talking about guards, Josh. Josh, pay attention.
Don't talk about
So we can't talk about Jenner's dunker either.
Because he's technically a tackle, but we're moving him to guard. Now that dude, Rutledge. I would absolutely
Caleb Rutledge.
Either one of those two. Yep, those are.
But
right. Like so, there's is a guy that he's the same 6'4", almost 320. I liked him. I liked watching him.
Yeah.
Jalen Farmer, great player.
I like Schroff out of Notre Dame, but that'd be a later day 2, day 3 pick. But
Billy Slouch.
Yeah,
Slouch.
Yeah. Schroff. Yeah. Schroff.
There's a lot of good guards in this draft.
Well, the Texas A&M guard too. There you go. Right.
Yeah.
DeSantis.
Yeah.
DeSantis. 6'5", 315. I like him.
Pregnon.
Jalen Farmer. There you go.
Just Give me a big, beefy offensive line. Some big, tall, beefy dudes.
But look, hey,
that old the old
let me
Dallas
just make
Cowboys
this
line
perfectly
when they
clear,
were all
though.
like,
Let me make this clear because I don't want Daniels of the world and all the Ione guys. This doesn't mean we don't. It's not that we're against drafting Vega Ione out of Penn State. Love him, right? I think I'd be down. I'm just saying.
Have you not been watching the last couple of shows when we've drafted him in the first round?
But
I hated it at first. I was against it our first time, but
you were against it. You were, but you turned around though.
Yeah.
You came back and you said, right? Wrong? No.
I would take if we were one guard away, right? If the only thing that we needed was a guard, then you stick at 11, you pick them like you go like that Detroit philosophy, right? If that's who you're in love with and it can't be anybody else, then you do that. We just have too much that we need to have to like we're sticking, and this is who we have to take at 11. I just think that people are going to call and they're going to have players that they fall in love with, and we consider it. And especially like Josh said, if they're offering next year picks, then hey, we may be in the market for a quarterback next year. We may be in the market for wide receivers next year. Like next year is going to be a good draft for quarterbacks and wide receivers as well. So that's why it's hard for me to
before we get to our mock draft, I just want to ask you guys this: 30, right?
Yeah.
I still think even if you move down to 11, I think trading down out of 30 is still a very strong possibility. But is there any guy, coach, at 30 that if he's there, you are not missing on him? You're not considering a trade. You're going to go get him. Is there any one guy available at 30 that you think, or would be available at 30 that you would not pass up on?
Well, I think if one of those, right, if we've moved back and we haven't secured a offensive lineman, right, if one of those guys happens to fall to 30, I think you have to strongly consider taking one of those top guys. And it could happen. We've seen guys fall out of the first round that we swore would never fall. Yeah, like you said, offensive tackle at 30 if one of them falls there, or one of the if who's the edge guy from Missouri? That we were
Army's coming.
We've mentioned
it's not that.
We've mentioned him multiple times. If he falls,
Eli Heidenreich.
No, the edge rusher.
That's Navy, right?
Yeah.
What did he say? I'm sorry.
The one from edge.
Yeah.
No, Missouri.
I keep thinking of R. Mason, but it's not that.
Zion Young is the edge rusher out of
yes. If Zion Young falls
I keep thinking
30,
R. Mason.
If Zion Young's there at 30, it would be hard to trade out of that pick.
Wow. There you go. Josh?
Mine is going to be
Ty Simpson.
Terrell.
Yeah.
I think him at 30 would be really good. I think solidifying that cornerback position is important for Miami right now. I know inside out and all that, but Terrell's a hard player to come away from just because of the way he plays. He's a physical guy. He's sticky. I really like Terrell, especially at 30. And the other guy is just my guy, C.J. Allen, just because I think he's the difference maker, not necessarily on the field. Like, he's great. He's not going to wow you in anything that he does. He just does on the field really well. But he's a green dot guy. He's very smart, and he's a leader on the field, in the locker room. I think he's just a person that you want to put on your team to then be able to build around him and be like that right kind of guy to build and show like, okay, this is how this team's going to move forward.
All right, Daniel, now, I'm saying that we need an offensive tackle, offensive lineman in the first round. I'm not saying we don't, because I'm saying that we trade out of 11 to pick up a lineman later in the first round, right? And if one of those linemen falls to 30 and we took an edge at whatever position, 13, 14, 15, that we would trade back for, I'm agreeing with you. We obviously need offensive linemen. I just don't think it needs to be the guard at 11.
Don't get Coach going. Don't mess with Coach.
Hey, I'm a trench guy, and I want it inside out too, brother. Trust me.
himself. But that is true. That's what I was going to say. I think it's a fair point. I agree with Daniel in regards to protecting your guy. We need to solidify that all line. We got Brewer, we got Patrick Paul. We got to figure out about Savane. I think he needs to be moved to right guard, but right tackle and left guard is absolutely needs to be addressed. Even though Austin Jackson's been restructured, I get it. But let's be real about the quarterback situation with Tua. Basically a statue back there who can't move, who wasn't athletic. He didn't protect himself. A lot of times he held that ball way too damn long. It wasn't the offensive line. It was Tua Tagovailoa. With Malik Willis, we know we got a guy who can move and escape the pocket. We put a lot of too much damn blame on the offensive line when it was a lot of time it was on Tua. So let's be realistic here and put the fault where it lies. So
we can
question.
We can
Is that coach's burner account?
Say what?
Is that coach's burner account?
Yeah,
Vince Fan 22.
Vince Fan 22. Yeah, that's right.
Burner account.
That's my burner account.
Yeah. Hey, Caden Proctor. Don't sleep on Caden Proctor.
Yeah.
So I agree with that. I
do too.
I with Alabama players, I scout the helmet, and I hate that I do that. But I know when I watch them on film, I absolutely despise Alabama offensive linemen. Like they just don't show up for me, and I'm like, what the heck is going here? Even though we have Alabama guard
drinking the haterade,
I feel like they play soft, and I hate that. But big body guy, he played soft. Seeing how big he is, he let people come to him. He didn't take action, and that's where like Ione. I love those kinds of guys, but it's hard to say I'll take him at 11.
So. One name I'm going to say to watch out for, and I love all the names that are being thrown out there, so shout out to everybody. I've seen Kendrick Falk, I've seen TJ Parker, right? Like, talking about edge rushing possibilities, lineman possibilities. We talked about Caleb Lemieux possibly falling at 30 out of Utah. That happened to me in my X mock. Epic mock is in next week, I believe, or 2 weeks from now. But one name I think we should watch out for, he has met with Miami. This guy, if he was healthy, would probably be a top 15, top 10 pick in the secondary. And I really, if his tag team partner was there at 30, that might be a strong not passing up on. But don't sleep on Jamon McCoy out of Tennessee. That is a name to watch at 30 if he starts to fall. If he starts to fall and he's sitting there at 30, that's a name that I will not that I probably will be very hard pressed not to pass up on.
I feel like it depends on his pro day. This pro day coming up is going to be very important for him because if he shows up and looks like he can't play, he's been, 15 months out of football?
Yes.
With a knee injury, if he can't play, that's going to be a bad knee injury. Like something that you have to look into.
Yeah,
he could massively fall in the draft.
Let's see something for a second.
Yeah, that makes me nervous, Bobby. Those injuries in the first round.
But 15 months for a knee injury? And he still can't go to the combine. He can't, this is going to be a big, and if he does it, we could see him go day 2. And day 2 because he is a top player and he's hurt.
And it'd be a steal in day 2, absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, Bobby's really diving in here. He turned his microphone off.
I did because they opened the door.
He went poof.
Well, I'm trying to see when the pro day is, but I can't find it.
He's the 31st. 2 days. 2 days away.
Oh, 2 days. Okay, good. Okay.
Yeah,
but
so
Tennessee bias. Shut up, DSG. It's not Tennessee bias, man.
So I feel like
Chris Bell is not Jamon McCoy's injury. Do not put that on Chris Bell. Don't even. I hate when people do that. Do not do that. Chris Bell is a different beast.
But it's just Miami players or fans are so scared of players with injuries. You can't say no to all players because that's where you get value at.
Yeah, exactly.
If I am Miami, I'm moving backwards and I'm looking for Jamon McCoy late in the draft because he is possibly the best quarterback in this year's draft, and you're getting the value there. So,
yeah. Russ Morgan, host of the On Deck Baseball podcast. Shout out to Russ, our resident Jets fan here on FTSN.
Go Cubs.
Hey, how about the Marlins? 3-0, baby. Owen Casey, home run. Loved it, boy. Yeah, we got MLB TV. I was like, I've been able to watch my Marlins, and the Phillies are 1 and 2. I think
They are, but
they're at the bottom of the. After talking that trash on that first episode, you were like, man. Anyway, but
you
it's
have to do well
post.
You have to do well post All-Star
Okay.
game. So we'll see what's happening post All-Star game.
All right, brother. Well, and there you go. What Josh just said too with McCoy. That's something to watch. How does he do? Could he fall out of the first round? Maybe. I know the Cowboys are really interested in him. I know that. I've seen a lot of noise on that, but we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. I'm just saying that's a name to watch. That if he's actually there at 30, and let's say he had a decent pro day, could be a consideration because the talent is there. But Colton Hood would be a guy that I'd strongly consider at 30 for sure. If he's sitting there.
Yeah.
I like Colton Hood as well.
Yeah. But let's go ahead. And let's get a mock draft in here with that mindset about if there's a player that we would stick to the pick or we'd move down. Let's see what we do here. So let's go ahead and move it here. Massador at 30. Akeem Ed.
Nope.
Massador is a player you 100% would consider. Hate when it does that. Let's get Coach back in here. And let's get the board in here. So let's go with that mindset. And I'll throw the comments here in the corner here. But Josh, if you just keep your eye on that way we see what people are saying. But again, we will consider trades here, but we're not going to go crazy on it.
No, we're going crazy.
We're going crazy. All right. So there you go. So I'm going to ask each of you, or the two of you, give me one player. It's a stick to the pick player. Okay. If he's there, who is that stick to the pick player at 11 for you? Coach, who is it? Give me one guy. It has to be one guy. I know you want to pursue a trade, and we're going to do it, but I need to give me one guy.
Oh, I would probably say Bailey.
David Bailey. All right,
David
Texas
Bailey.
A&M.
Yeah.
Texas Tech. Excuse me, edge rusher.
Yeah, Texas Tech. I had two, but I went with
I like
Bailey.
that. No, I like that. David Bailey's a good one. Josh, one guy.
Mine's going to be Caleb Downs.
Yeah.
Say what?
Downs.
Caleb
Downs.
Downs. Okay. All right. I like that you went Bailey because nobody it. What?
Hog dog mock draft sponsored by Norelco beard trimmers.
We should figure that out. All right.
Yeah, there you go.
Just be happy we're not.
I'm gonna say Ruben Bain. It's Ruben Bain. That would be my pass.
He was the other one I was gonna say.
Yeah, that's my stick to the pick. Is Ruben Bain.
I was gonna say just be happy we're not sponsored by Manscaped.
Hey-o.
Oh, look at that! All three of our guys got took. So, but Mauanoa, Fanu, Ione, Sadiq on the board. And Sadiq, I know somebody asked that earlier. Would you consider? I would consider Sadiq in a trade down if you move down to 15, 20. I mean, if he's there at 30, that's a stick to the pick. Probably move there, maybe at the tight end. But I would probably consider a trade down option. I wouldn't hate it though. I love him. He's a physical freak. But and don't sleep on my Kai Lemon either. But anyway, Fitz fan says Francis, go Francis. It's a form what people sign up for. Josh, do you want to say that?
Yeah, we can do it later. It's fine.
Okay. Okay, go, Josh. Okay. I like that though. All right, so none of our stick to the pick players are there, so we could consider a trade down, but we also could reject the trade offer and go with the draft because we do have Mauanoa there. We got Ione there, right? We got Makai, we got Fanu, we got Sadiq. So there are guys we could go with, but let's look at these trades, okay? And there are some good ones. Here you go. So Carolina, 19 and 51 for 11. And then the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 15 and 46. I would be down with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers trade 100% with what's on the board.
Yeah,
I'd do that right then and there.
Yep, I'm trading with Tampa Bay.
Josh, you want to join this conversation?
I mean, I was trying to can't get a word in edgewise. So we're going back 15 and getting 46. I would gladly do that trade.
100%. 100%. Great value. I'm down with that.
Yeah. All right. Now it's us. Now we got
Fano,
Sadiq, Ione
here
Woods
at 15.
Let me. It's hard. I think Ione's the pick here, but let's see what the trade backs are.
Okay. Daniel right now. No. All right. We're not trading with Buffalo. I'm hanging up the phone. Thank you, Buffalo. Try again.
Is that moving back to 18 for Minnesota?
Yeah, 18. Yeah. Yep. The best offer on regards of value is the Cleveland trade, which is 24 and 39. That's what you're getting back. With Minnesota, you're getting 18 and 82. So you're only trading out 3 spots, but you're getting the 82nd instead of 39. 39, that's the top of the second round, And then with Pittsburgh, you get 21 and 53, and then Tennessee, 35, 66, 101. That's the worst value trade on the table right now. But if you trade down 3 picks, you got Fanu, Sadiq, and Vega. And
Freeling
too. You got Freeling still on the board. You got Proctor. So and then Diamond's
Thielman. Yep.
Now, Bob, do you think this is like something that could actually happen on draft day?
What?
The trade backs.
Especially in this draft.
That we would get another offer.
Oh, well, I'm not sure. It really depends on who's still on the board, right? And
Sadiq's still there. Fano's still there.
Yeah, that might be a situation. Now, at 11, I do for sure because I think good players are going to be there and teams are going to want to try to trade up. Like we talked about with Jeremiah Love and Ruben Bain possibly. And, those guys are going to want to try to move up and jump teams to grab them. If we trade down to 15, is there realistically going to be another trade possible, there? Possibly with Vega. Is there, Daniel, is there teams that are going to be like, no, we need to get him. We thought Baltimore was going to get him at 14, but he's available at 15. Detroit's trying to jump. Maybe Detroit calls and say, hey, can we move up and go get him? You got Fanu still left on the board. You got Sadiq, so for me, Item says test the trade downs. Roberts says make the pick. No doubt says make the pick. I'm cool sticking with the pick here and going Ione. I mean, I'm good going Ione here because I know I got 30 coming up. So, but I'll let you guys decide. Do we explore trade? Do we go trade or do we go ahead and stick to the pick? And are you okay with Ione being the pick? Here's the trade offers: 24 and 39. 39 is sexy. Like that is eye popping to me. Like I am crazy for that because that's a top of the second round. You're getting a prospect who's falling out of the first.
Yeah.
So, but you're legitimately risking losing out on Ione or Fanu.
Yeah.
Ione's the pick if we stay.
I'm curious if Cleveland would counter that and give us 24 and a 2027. It's like doesn't help us here, but get a 2027 first round pick next year. And maybe a fourth or fifth.
Cleveland's offering this. We're not calling Cleveland. Cleveland's sending us the trade.
Yeah, I know. But
they're not going to counter their own trade.
Well, you could. There's conversations that happen with trade.
Yeah.
You just don't pick up the phone and say, yep, I'll take it.
I'll take it there if it's 24 and 39. But we're getting a lot of make the pick. Just make the pick. They want the pick.
Let's just make the pick then. And I'm not going to say it because I don't want to.
We got minutes here.
I mean, this isn't the viewer mock draft. That's all I'm saying. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh yeah.
Not yet. But let's let Daniel go to bed happy tonight, and let's go ahead and pick Ione here after a trade.
Every draft.
We've done it. All right, now we are at 30, and there are some great options here at 30.
TJ
right?
Parker,
Massador, Hood, McNeil Warren.
Massador.
See the guy at the top of the draft?
Stop it.
Oh yeah, this year it's only 8 minutes.
Allen
round.
is there. Let's look at this here. Nothing really good. Well,
a couple of them say future, don't they?
What's that future? Second? No, I want it first.
There's a couple of them that say future, don't they?
Yeah. What's that? I want it first.
Here you go. Trade down to 32 and get a future second. I'm down with that. I'll do that trade with Seattle. Get a future second round pick and move down only 2 spots.
Yeah.
Stick in the first. You good with that, Coach?
Yeah. You're only moving down 2 spots, right?
There you go.
They took Hood though. Yeah, that was.
They took Hood and Massador, but CJ Allen.
My guy I went trade away from. I traded away from him. He's still there. CJ Allen.
Hey, I kind of agree with Josh. You do need somebody in that, especially if there's a chance that what's his name gets traded.
Jordan Brooks,
right? Yeah. If Brooks gets traded, I would be hard passed on Allen. But
let's do it. I'm down with that. Let's go ahead and go get CJ Allen. Take that linebacker spot. If Jordan Brooks stays, he's not extended right now, so he could be out the door. You go get him. So let's go CJ Allen here, man.
All right.
The Jets got Ty Simpson, and Ty Simpson's going to hurt Miami for years to come because Miami did not want to take Ty Simpson.
Oh, stop it.
Oh, Zion Young goes one pick before us.
One pick. Let's see. All right. Retiring soon says, man, 24 and 39 is way more valuable than 15 in my opinion, especially for building value. I love that concept. I love that argument. That's a great point. Wish it came a little earlier. Probably would have used that, but came a little late there. But that's okay. We appreciate you.
But we definitely appreciate you. Just get here a little earlier so we can do that next time.
All right, guys. What are we thinking here at 43? We've gone linebacker. We've gone guard. Where are we going at 43 here? We got 46 coming up right after that.
43 and 46.
You know, again, you corner, got Sassy there.
Oh, Cece's there.
Santos is here. Pregnant's there. James Dunker's here.
But we get guard. We got guard.
Oh, I know. That's what I'm saying. Look at the value of guard.
I know. I understand where you're going. I know where you're going. I get it.
They're saying Lawrence. Who's Lawrence?
Yeah, Malachi Lawrence out of UCF, Central Florida. I'm down with that. I like him, man.
I don't even see him.
He's there. 6'4".
Oh yeah,
I
right
like
there.
Malachi Lawrence, man.
I didn't see him on.
Derek Moore and Romello Heights a little better.
But yeah, I mean, I'm down with that. We could look towards Malachi Lawrence. I'm down with that. Double L's to the Jets will crush Bobby. Yeah, I know. So what are we thinking, guys? Thoughts about Pons? The only issue with Pons that jumps out at me, the guy's.
You don't like his size. You don't like his size.
It's size that stands out, and everybody keeps talking about size with the Dolphins, which is especially when you see what they've signed in free agency in the secondary. That really stands out.
He's a dog.
Can you click cornerback? Just so I can see the list.
Don't sleep on Keontae Scott. Yeah, I think Scott is really being considered. Especially, I think he's also even though
I think he's rising.
He's flying, dude. I mean, I would go Scott here at 46 or 40. I'm okay with it. And you go double down on corner later.
I would jump all over them.
Keith Abney too. He's a baller. He could also. He's probably a nickel corner that could play safety. But he will hammer you. He's not afraid to tackle. He has good makeup speed, so if he does get beat, he can recover very well.
What do we have at edge right now?
We could go Jacas here. You know, Gabe Jacas out of Illinois.
No, I like.
Look what he did last year.
So we got. Bobby, I would really be interested in taking. I would really be interested in taking the cornerback here, and then the edge, the next pick, which is.
I think we have a good amount of I think there's Derek Moore, Romello Heights. I mean, everyone's wanting Lawrence.
All right, so who's the pick at corner? If we're going corner here, who's the pick? Because I
go Scott, man. We're fans of Scott, right?
It depends on what. Scott. Like Scott is more the boundary corner. Abney is the inside.
I still think we go double. I think we double down on corner anyway. So but I like Scott. I like he's flying.
I like Scott too.
You know, safety. I think Halsey would be a good option there. But yeah, I think Scott's flying off. So Let's go get
Ramsey
Scott,
safe,
and
too.
let's see who's at. Look, and you got both edge rushers still on the board for Miami there. And again, Jacques Lawrence. Man,
there's a ton of edge rushers.
Yeah, the next pick is at 75. So, you risk.
How much do you love Lawrence?
Oh, I like Lawrence a lot. I really do. I love him. He's I think he's not that far into it. We got 3 years, but you look at his numbers. I mean, consistently productive. 5 sacks his first year, 5.5, I think, or 5, and then 7 in his final year. I mean, and I love his size. I think he's big. I think he adds to the room. I'm down with it. Hog Dog says Gabe is a Green Bay edge rusher. So is a Green Bay style edge rusher. 6'4", 260.
Tall, big body.
11 sacks, 8 sacks last year. I like Jacques too, man. I'm good with Jacques. I think the viewership likes Jacques too. So we go Jacques here. Let's do it. Let's see how it falls in.
BPA. Best edge available. BEA.
There you go. BEA.
Can we get Trey and Stukes to fall to us? Ooh.
Oh, yeah. That's stocks. Stukes is right there for safety, man. And it's Ted Hurst. Oh man. All right. We got 75, 87, 90. Okay, no, we're good. We're good. But there's Malachi, and we know he's flying up, but I think Stukes would be a good pick because he could play corner as well, but he's safety. I love his versatility in the backfield. Great size. 6'1" here. I think he's 6'2", but you never know how these
fast.
Yeah,
like perfect size for the position. Trey Stukes would be a baller here.
We know. I think he's going to be grabbed. He's going to be grabbed in a minute there, which really sucks. I really like
you. You're saying Stokes? Was that your
Stokes? Yeah, we're talking about Stokes right now. Yeah. Or Stukes.
Jesus. Can we say the name right?
It's Stukes.
Stokes.
Okay. The kid from Arizona.
STUKES.
Well, look, and I'll just say too.
I don't have my reader. My reader's
Look. Wheatley's about to be there too. Whitley's available. He could be available at that next pick for us. So,
I mean, I like Stukes. I like Wheatley. I like Bud Clark.
I mean, right here, I just know for me, Ted Hurst, he's more than likely he's going to be gone. So that's where I'm sitting here. What I'm wondering is it Stukes or Wheatley?
Where are you gonna put Stukes at, or not Stukes? Hurst, day one on this roster. Is he gonna be your number one? You're gonna expect him to go from Georgia State to be a number one?
No, I think you're in the third round. You're in the third round. You're thinking third. I'm thinking about
who's your number one?
Wide receiver 3. Well, that's Telbo right now, right? He could compete for number one. There's no true number one on Miami's team right now. That's why I think you got to consider wide receiver at the second round or whatever, especially if you want to build that receiver room, because there's no true number one wide receiver. Ted Hurst can compete for wide receiver, and I think he has a high ceiling. I think he's going to be surprising a lot of people. Not anymore. I think he's flying up boards. He's in a lot of top 30 visits. For a guy who's projected to go to the third round here, he's getting a lot of top 30 visits. I don't know how far he's actually going to drop, but yeah, I think he could compete for a number one guy. But Robert says Hurts is a better value. He's wide receiver 2 to compete. A lot of people are saying Hurts. Vince Fan says grab a safety. John Blue says Hurts would be our number one.
I think Stukes is the player to take here, but I will go with whatever we say. I think the issue with where we feel like we need a receiver because the group that we have, but I feel like the best player is Stukes between the two.
Coach, I'll let you go ahead and decide here.
I would agree. I'd agree with Josh.
We'll roll with that.
I think especially if we're high on.
I'm let everybody know though. This is on these two right here.
All right, I'll take it.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
I'm going Hurst. I would go Hurst here and go Whitley with the next pick. But these two right here, okay?
Yeah. Blame it on the fat kid. Blame it on the fat kid.
Wait, I'm sorry. Lincoln and Grant over there. All right, I'm blaming those two Civil War guys. Okay,
Yeah.
I would go Hurst, but that's just me. I was trying to remember the right presidents. Oh, look, Whitley would have been. You see, well, tough.
He's still there.
Wheatley's there. No, not my guy. He's gone.
Yeah.
What pick did he go?
Oh, Wheatley's still there.
Probably the next pick, right?
Ted Hurst went to pick right before.
Oh, no,
Look at that! Oh, son of a beach. All right.
We could have traded up.
Could have traded up, man. All right. Now so where we are now, we got Vega Ione, guard. CJ Allen at linebacker. Keontae Scott at corner. Gabe Jacas out of Illinois, edge rusher. And Traden Stokes, safety out of Arizona. Or Arizona State, right? Or is there Arizona? Now we got 3 picks coming up here: 87, 90, and 94. Receiver, tight end, offensive line, maybe another corner here. Where with this pick, 87, Coach? I'll start with you. What position would you be interested in looking at here?
Wide receiver, tight end.
Okay, wide receiver, tight end. Josh.
Yeah, I'm in that, but I mean, I just want to see who's top available right now.
Wheatley, he's top available. Could have got him right now and felt good, but no, I'm just playing. Wheatley, but Treg is still there. That dude's built like a rock, and he's flying up boards and. Heard a lot of good stuff about him.
He's rocked up.
Yeah.
Bobby, where's Lance at?
Bryce Lance. He is here. Now, I don't believe he's 116. I highly doubt he realistically would be at 116. He's going to be up. He's going to be flying up. I would go Bryce Lance here just to pick him. And here's the thing though. Can I be honest?
Yeah.
Wheatley still there. Stokes, or Stukes, however you want to call him, he's a corner. He could play corner and safety.
Yeah.
I think you could get away getting Wheatley
so
here.
Then go Wheatley.
I'd go Wheatley here because then you know that's at least what I would consider here, man.
Oh, they want Lance.
Oh, they could want Lance. He's coming. We got plenty of picks here. There you go. We go Wheatley.
Let's get Lance.
Let's get Lance.
Make the fans happy.
Make the fans happy.
Now,
let's go Bud Clark and let's hit the trip like that.
Here, I'd consider O-line here. And the guys I'd consider, again, I am, and I'm not ready to, I see Markel Bell. He's down there.
Joe Farmer.
But Farmer, Barber,
Markel
if
Bell.
you're talking interior, I like Logan Jones. I like him. I know Coach.
Wagner.
I don't know if Coach's guy still
Billy
there.
Schroff.
Parker.
Schrouth and Schrouth is
Trey
guard.
Trey.
Yeah, so for me, I'm looking at O-line here because I want to help. But I'm probably looking at. I mean, here's my thing with tackle, and you can say whatever you want. Oh, you're just saying it's because you're a Miami guy. No, I like the idea of going with him later if he's there at 130 maybe. Another guy that I like out of Miami, Inez Cooper. Pat Coogan is there too, but Inez Cooper later as well. So, but again, Logan Jones, talking about Aaron Brewer, right? Brewer just restructured his deal, but he's not guaranteed. He hasn't signed an extension. He could be gone after next year. That may be where I'm going with this pick. Or, of course, you could double down at receiver. Or
what do we got at tight end?
Tight end, great. Jolie, Oscar Delp, Raritan.
Eli Raritan. Yeah.
I like the idea of Sam Roosh later too, if he's still available. But is there anybody at tight end that you would want to jump on right here?
What's our next pick after 94?
130, I believe. Yeah, okay. 130.
Okay.
What about Jacoby Lane? How do you feel about Jacoby Lane?
I'm indifferent about Jacoby Lane. I've seen things that I like, and there's things that I've disliked. I asked people who are smarter than me about that, and I had one guy tell me, trying to remember his name. My brain is fried. But anyway, I had one guy tell me who does this, 24/7. He was like, Jacoby is a guy who has the potential, like it's there, doesn't know if he could hit it, but has the potential to be a possible number one guy down the line. I mean, he got the size, decent speed, all that. So at this spot, I don't think it's a bad idea if it was, and you double down at receiver one after the other, you get two really good under the radar receivers in the mid rounds. I like it, but and it doesn't lock you down not to go get a Jeremiah Smith if that's an option for you next season. I don't hate it. But again, building the trenches. Mommy had, Bentley at tight end was there as well. I think he's
Roush
later on down the board.
Yeah, he's there. You passed him.
Did I? I'm sorry. I'm trying
to. I thought you.
Bentley, there he is.
Yeah.
Yes. Miami's met with him. Yep. That's something he down the line too, an option for tight end. Thanks, Daniel, for throwing that out there. That is absolutely true.
Were there any of those offensive tackles that Miami's met with that are still on the board?
Here's a great question from Idle Man. Why forecast replacing players when we have holes? The reason why we have holes, because we don't forecast. Our former GM did not forecast losing players. He was okay letting players go into free agency when you don't have a replacement and you don't have you didn't decide you were going to keep them. Green Bay's way of doing things is bringing in players to replace other players that might not be here the years after. And I mean, you could go with a million different options or different evidence, different whatever. But here's the biggest one: the quarterback position. They had Brett Favre still at the top of his game. They go get Aaron Rodgers. They have Aaron Rodgers still an elite quarterback at that time. They go get Jordan Love. They didn't have a hole at that position, but they still filled that position. That's what smart teams do. They don't go, let's go and ignore a better player and let's get a shittier player or a worser player just because that player has the position we need. You don't do that. You think about, okay, wait a second. We have Aaron Brewer for one more year. Maybe. Well, if we get Logan Jones, now we have a guy who can replace him, and we're not worried about that a year from now. That position's filled up. That's why. Let's get out of the Chris Greer way of thinking here, and let's start thinking smart. We get players that could replace, and also Logan Jones, he could be a replacement for Brewer, but he also could be your starting guard possibly. Maybe. Especially if Sabanea doesn't move up. Billy Parker.
Austin Barber. He's not there, right?
Oh, Austin Barber. Our Barber's still there.
Is he?
Yeah, Barber's still there. I saw him there at least. Maybe I'm crazy.
Or he might have went. If you scroll up on the left hand, like people that got picked, I think he might have got picked. No.
What positions he play?
I thought I saw him before. Yeah, he was there. Here it is. Hold on. There it is.
There
it is. Yeah.
That might be my pick.
Also it's right there. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd go Barber here.
That's who I'm thinking. I would too. All right. Forecasting Jackson being gone.
Now at 1:30.
Injuries.
Raridan's right there. There you go.
Is Roush still there? I think I might like Roush better than.
Roush is there. Bentley's still there. Bentley met with Miami. Who's the best guys on the board right now? Andrews and Raridan, Royer, Allar.
I mean, there are injury concerns with Raridan.
There you go. Isaiah Cassis is still there. Massis, still on the board. I would definitely consider going tight end here. Yeah. And I would go with Sam Roosh. I mean, right now at least. I mean, I'm not ignoring the other guys. I'm not hating on those other guys. But this is the guy I feel comfortable right now at this spot.
Big body guy.
I would agree. As much as I like Raridan had some injuries. He had a knee injury. And I think that, and I think isn't Is Roosh a little bigger? 6'6"?
6'6", 267, dude. I mean, that's built.
Yeah, that's a big old thick boy right there.
If you think of a T-shirt, right? Girth. That's what I said. Girth.
Yeah,
I mean,
girth. That's right.
Yeah.
We're gonna be girthy all along the offense.
Yeah, let's do.
We got to make
tackle the
shirts girthy.
Yeah,
I draft for girth.
I draft for girth. I like it.
Yeah,
I like them girthy.
Trademark.
I'm gonna get a T-shirt maker.
There you go. All right. Now,
look at quarterback.
Whoa! Let's not get hasty here.
Let's not get hasty. We're just trying to see who fell off. All right, so we're now at 151. Proctor out of Louisiana there. Let me look at guard.
Pat Coogan.
Coogan is there. Stevens is there. NS Cooper later. I like NS Cooper. But Coogan is there. I mean, again, we could keep building that line. I'm down with that. Basket slope. Like stays girthy. Yes, sir. That. I like that. That's a T-shirt. Girth stays girthy, brother.
Love it.
Running back. He's meeting with in Miami. Kalon Black out of Indiana is meeting up with Miami for a top 30 visit.
He's a running back, right?
Yes, he is.
Yeah, he's pretty good. Him and Hemby were a good combo at IU.
It's not about the length. It's about the girth. The girth matters. That's true. Not about size, brother. It's about, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You all know what I'm saying. Quarterback. I keep seeing quarterback. Let's Cole Payton, Talon Green, McGowan. Oh, no, not McGowan. What the hell? Robertson, Pavia.
Diego Pavia, yeah. Draft your backup that might not. Could you imagine Pavia in South Beach?
Oh, God.
No.
D tackle.
Let's do it.
Talking about D tackle. Zavion Harris still on the board. Ooh.
I don't like how you at that position.
Oh.
You like 6'8" at
I
DT?
love size.
Yeah, but
size matters.
Not the length doesn't matter. It's,
I know.
It's not the size, it's the girth.
It's the girth that matters. 330, 6'8".
I can't. I haven't watched him, but I'd have to see. Like, I expect him to. Like,
I'm gonna watch it for sure.
To not get leverage. I feel like everyone can just get under him.
But this is in the what, the fifth round? Where are we? The fifth round?
Like Caleb.
Come on.
Caleb Proctor's there. I take Caleb Proctor before I take him.
Now, is he any relation to the Alabama Proctor?
I doubt it. How do you go from 6'8" to 6'2"? Man, 291. No, I'm just kidding. But I'm down with D tackle. I'm going.
What do we feel like we need though? Like
everybody's saying quarterback. I mean, at least the last two said quarterback.
Well, I'm saying like on the defensive line. What do we feel like interior defensive line? What do we feel like we need?
Nose tackle, right?
Okay, so looking at the one tech, Bryson Eason.
Yeah, check him. How big is he? I like a big old fat, thick.
6'2", 323. That's
that's what I'm talking about.
That's girthy.
That's what I'm
330
talking about right there.
Let's look at quarterback. I like Cole Payton. I also like Taylor Green. So I'm good with either one.
I like those two.
I'd probably lean towards Taylor Green just because of competition. But I think you're.
What do you like? You think Taylor Green will be more competition than Cole Payton would?
I think he played against better competition than Cole Payton.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah,
I'd go. If you're making me go, if I go quarterback here, I'm going Taylor Green because there's more upside. I like the upside here.
I think Notre Dame put like
I like Payton. I do like Payton. Payton's good size, athletic too, but
Green and Willis are very similar players.
Yeah, minus Green. I mean, Green.
Look,
but they play style is similar, not height and.
And there's something. There is something to be said about that.
Yep.
Right? Like I felt like if we were going to have
Kinsman is right on the
that
money with that.
Yeah.
And wide receiver is a great point. Robert asked about wide receiver. If you talk about wide receiver, Jeff Caldwell is still there, right? But we didn't get a second receiver. But CJ Daniels, which is Malik Willis's guy.
Just can you do me a favor and click off of quarterback for a second? I just leave wide receiver there. The kid from John Carroll. I bet he's down the board a ways.
John Carroll, yes.
Tyler Montgomery?
Yeah.
He's right there. Scroll up. Right there.
Oh, 5'11", no. He won the Senior Bowl.
Colby Young's there.
Yeah. Caleb Douglas, who met with Miami, Caldwell, 6'5", 216, 4.3 speed.
Do we have one more pick after this?
6'2", yes, we do. 207, right. 4.36.
Let's go. Ooh.
CJ Daniels.
I know. I would go quarterback here with Green, and then hopefully one of those guys is there. What happened?
Can't
what
take
I do
all
wrong?
the Miami guys.
I haven't taken any Miami guys.
Yes, you have.
I took Scott. That's it.
That's a Miami
guy. That was a team effort thing.
And we gave you a Florida guy.
We're going quarterback at 151? Oh, man. Fine. All right.
Because we see how going late round quarterbacks work for you guys. We've seen how going early quarterback works for you guys.
Come on. Damn it, CJ. You were that close.
Not that close.
No, not that close. I don't know. Yeah.
Diego Pavia is still there.
Arian Brown, he's met with Miami. He's a good kick returner, gives you that option at kick returner, gives you another weapon in the offense. Yeah. Has speed. I know he's people, 5'11" or 5'10". Here's the thing, though. They signed Tutu Atwell. I don't think size is that much of a deal with Miami right now, as much as people want to put out there.
Poor
Diego Pound.
Poor Tyrone Montgomery can't get his John Carroll. Can't get his John Carroll logo in there. Just a green dot with. I said my guy Tyrone Montgomery can't get an appropriate. He just got a green JC in there.
Chase Roberts
and S. Cooper. I think you get him. Chase Roberts is intriguing. Good size. I think you spent
a lot of size
to Green Bay. Hey man, it's all about the size. And I saw something in there about it's fast can go slow, but size big doesn't shrink.
Yeah.
Depends. Yeah. It depends on cold water.
That's right.
If
girth doesn't shrink.
Girth doesn't shrink. Yeah.
Length can.
When in doubt,
length can show up small.
He says.
So for here, Winowski, safety. That's another name to look out for. That's an interesting name, an intriguing name. It's secondary. Singleton as well.
Yeah. Who is we drafted? I forget.
Arian Brown or Chase Roberts here, and I go Inez Cooper with the next pick.
Can I see our picks?
There's a trade offer.
Can I see our picks? So,
picks.
Yeah, I kind of like taking the receiver here.
Is there one of your running backs there you like?
What about
not really.
K-John Owens had a very good pro day, but he could be a UDFA. I would think Arian Brown or Chase Roberts. Brown because he gives you production in special teams, helps you in special teams, which because you're thinking about now. That's what you're thinking about when you're in these rounds here, the 7th round, 6th, 7th round. You're thinking about guys who could contribute in different ways. And I think he could give you that. You take the Von Achen out of the return game, you take Malik Washington out of the return game. That might be an option there. If you're talking about
Bobby, are one of those running backs there?
Running backs. Again,
one of those running backs there that you like?
CJ Donaldson's on the board at Ohio State, averaging 10 to 11 touchdowns a year. Bradison at tight end. At fullback. That would be an interesting pick for Miami, especially since they lost Alec Ingold. Another tight end guy, Raleigh Narowski. He says tight end here, but he could play fullback. He's more like a Charles Clay type of player, could play tight end and fullback. So Adam Randall would be awesome, Hog Dog. But Adam Randall, I don't think is available. I highly doubt he's available unless I
really
totally
like
missed him.
Malowski.
If Randall was there, I'd be all over that. But I don't think he's there. But Norowski, tight end, or there you go. Norowski or Bradison would be a good pick if you're thinking fullback. Both guys are tight ends, but those are like your fullback guys.
I kind of like the special teams guy here.
Barry and Brown. Yeah. I'm down with that. I like him.
Yep.
Again, fast, explosive weapon, but also a good returner. So I'm down with that. Let's do it.
All right.
Now, and again, I didn't miss Randall. Randall was taken already. I'm pretty sure Randall got picked up. You gotta make me look now. He plays for Clemson.
Look him up. Search player.
Yeah, Cowboys. Son of a.
Yeah.
There you go.
Damn Cowboys.
Always doing that. One Cowboys. Here, again, you could look towards. I think Bradison's still on the board. Norowski's still on the board. Enes Cooper should still be there. I like Enes Cooper. Keep building that O line. I mean, and he has the girth. Look at that, 6'6", 334. Big boy. That's a big boy. I'm liking that, man. But I digress. You guys, just help me. We going with girth? We going with offensive line here?
You know what I want.
Yeah, I think. Well, what do you currently have in depth at offensive line?
Not much. Bunch of no names.
Looking up right now. So we drafted Ione, correct?
Yep. Yes.
Yeah. So he's going to be our left guard.
Yeah, left guard.
The right guard.
Yep.
We have Salier, and then a bunch of nobodies.
That's right. So I mean, but Cooper, I think Cooper's a guy I think has a possible. Yeah. He absolutely has an opportunity to be that rotational. He could be a rotational guy. He might be. I think he competes for start. I really like Enes Cooper, man. I really do.
I would say
do it. Pull the trigger.
We got the girth. Get that girth.
There it is, boys and girls.
A- grade. All right. Ione in the first round at 15 after trading down. Trading down again from 30 to 32. Go and get C.J. Allen. 43, get Keontae Scott. 46, Gabe Jacas at edge rusher. Stokes at 75. He said as a safety here, but he's a corner safety. Then we get Wheatley, safety out of Penn State. Bryce Lance at 90. Austin Barber, tackle out of Florida at 94. Sam Roosh, tight end at 130. Taylon Green from Arkansas at quarterback at 151. Barian Brown, wide receiver, LSU at 227. And wrapping it up with Enes Cooper at 238.
What if you go down real quick, scroll down, it says draft stats and analysis. What does that do? Nothing? Average value is plus 9 picks to what they were expected to go to.
Okay, there you go. This is like a Josh thing here. Josh loves stuff like this.
You're a numbers guy, aren't you, Josh?
Not really. I'm a tape guy.
Yeah. I like tape.
No, overall though, everyone was a B, B minus, A, B plus.
Yeah, no, I
it was
think
a decent. It was a good draft.
Is an amazing draft for like good foundation for what you're going to build on for next year.
Yeah,
and we got 2 second-round picks going into next year.
Yeah,
that's right,
and a good balance of offense and defense.
I like it. I like it a lot. I do.
I like the girth.
Got the girth. I like the girth.
O-line's fixed, I feel like.
Well, Ione, Enes Cooper, Austin Butler, Austin Barber. Yeah, I mean, you've really addressed it, I would have been okay going at a center, or interior offensive lineman for the reason we were talking about. But I feel really good leaving the draft the way it was. We talked about the quarterback, but talking about the upside, right? I talked about why I would not go that route, but talk about the decent size about it. Again, you got a guy at 151 who is a project, right? You let him compete in preseason, see what you got, stash him. The talent that's there. It's just making sure he can play at the pro level. I like it.
Yeah.
So,
would you
awesome 5 to 6 starters. Roberts looks like to be 6 new starters, A- grade. Good draft from Rob. What were you saying, Coach?
I was just going to say, with Green, would you give him a package, or do you just let Willis run it all? Like, because of his size, is similar to Cam Newton. Do you see put him in like goal line situations, shorten goal, and or you just let Willis handle it and run with it?
That's a great question. I think I would let Willis handle it and run with it. I think I would. I'm going to throw Taylon Green in unless you see him in preseason and he just shows like, holy crap, he's more than we know what he could be at a quarterback, but this is a weapon. If he becomes a weapon, then you have to consider him in those type of packages. But I don't think you start it off right away that way.
No,
I think what I might do is put Green at like receiver, split him out wide, kind of like do those things like where you would traditionally take your quarterback and put him out wide. You now have 2 quarterbacks where you can kind of like play around. Don't let him go on a route, but kind of like let him go behind the line of scrimmage so you could pass it to him and maybe align some like trick plays in with that. And then you don't have to throw it to him. He could just be someone that they have to pay attention to.
He could just be a decoy,
like
a decoy,
But I would let Willis run with it for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was going to.
Anyway, guys, everyone who was tuning in, we appreciate you all for taking the time and watching the show with us and, working with us, discussing everything else. If you're new to the channel, we appreciate you dropping in. If you love sports, Dolphins.
Oh, we forgot.
Yes. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, we really want to do a viewers mock draft. So we want to get everyone able to sign up for it. We have a little form for everyone to fill out. I'm going to put it in the chat for us. If you fill that out, we will then review it all. We'll get in touch with you and try and get this thing going. Because I know a lot of people want to get involved. We'll get you on the show, have you make the picks, and we'll kind of like plan that out a little bit for you.
Yeah.
There you go. I like it. There you go. So if you want to be a part of the viewer mock draft where I'll have the button, but you guys make the pick. You say, hey, we discuss it as a war room. We decide it. We make the pick. Hit that form up, and then we'll go ahead and make sure everybody's together. We'll send you all the link, and you can jump on the show live, Josh, Coach, and myself. But, guys, we appreciate you all tuning in. What's next on FTSN? It's Sunday. Tuesday, we'll have Real Talk Fins Talk. Real Talk Wrestling should be back on Thursday. Thursday also, Fins Talk Today with Sammy and myself. Working on a guest for that show. We started up a new one called for baseball fans. We also Wednesday we have the On Deck Baseball Podcast with Russ Morgan. But for baseball Marlin fans, out there, if you're local South Florida, we have Hooked on Marlins, getting some Kane stuff on the way there, and a possibly he as well. Oh God, he just doesn't let it go. Boy, he just keeps going and going. Trouble, bro.
We need your license, but not. It's got to be the Gold Star license, and if you don't have the Gold Star license, then you can't do it.
Yeah,
that's right.
TSA over here.
We're TSA too. We're not getting paid, bro. That's right. We're same way.
24-hour wait, and we need 2 forms ID.
That's right. Anyway, before we get kicked off the air, we appreciate everybody watching, like, and subscribe, and most importantly, Dolphin fans, as always.
Go Cowboys.